Warning, this video is for entertainment and demonstration purposes only. Please consult a certified automotive technician for your automotive needs.
Oh boy. 2 words. Planned obsolescence. But more importantly, I think I have the proof to show that the human being can in fact stick its head up its ass. And now some will say, oh, well, we never actually seen it. Yeah, well, you know what? We can't see black holes either, but we know they're there based on their after effects. It's the same story, because, seriously, where was their head? So, to get the old motor off, this cover goes on here like so. You reuse it as a cover. I'll show you how that slips on there in a moment. The reason I didn't show it is because this was my very first time doing it. Yes, you have to cut the old motor out with a utility knife. That's actually part of the service procedure. This is your post 06 Cobalts. So, if you don't have much automotive experience or not that mechanically inclined, don't try this yourself, because if that knife veers off and you cut into like the airbox, that's going to get really expensive really quickly. Even from a junkyard, it'll probably be expensive because of all the labor they would have to go through just to pull it out. Either way, it won't be a good thing. Let's just say it'll be enough to make you want to kick the cat when you get home. Not that I kick mine, so just shut up. Anyway, so that's the first step of this. Next thing, this is going to slide over here, and you're going to see how these 2 pins here are going to come through here. And this is why you got to give GM the $255 for the new one, because the Chinese aftermarket ones, that bottom pin here is going to hit this port, and then you won't be able to get the connector on. So while I'm down here and these pins are that much more exposed, I'm going to put on a little bit of dielectric grease. I'll put some more if I need to. And I'm going to slip this on just like so. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but I think you get the idea. Okay, so next you're going to take a 9/32. Yes, this is actually one of the few parts on here that use a standard size. Like I said, I just never expected this out of a Chevy. And then you're going to slide that onto the studs here of the motor, just like so. And this is what I was talking about earlier. You see, this is what it should look like now when you slide the nuts on the cover over it, because the part that you cut off is now going to be reused as the cover now for the new blower motor. Right? Make that tight. All right. So next you have this reinstallation kit here. This ring, you have 3 holes here, or 3 mounting points, each with 2 holes. You got the inner holes and the outer holes. This is where the inner holes are going to go. So you're going to put this son of a gun here like so, and then you're going to put the 3 of the 7/32 bolts right here, and it should look something like this. And here is what it looks like with the ring. Anyhow, you'll see it right here in the blower motor where I'm concentrating light. Those are the 3 divots. You're going to go in the same way. You're going to take those 3 bolts here. You're going to send them through the outer holes in the ring, and that's how you bolt it on. But before you do that, just lightly connect it. You don't have to click the connector. Have your key on, engine off. Make sure you're clear of any moving parts. Don't worry, my fingers are guarded. And just make sure that the blower motor does what it's supposed to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy crap. Nice and suave. Does not sound like a pig getting sodomized. So there you go. So let me bolt this son of a gun on right now and show you how it goes on, and then I'll also show you how you pop the connector off. One little trick I recommend: run this bolt up into the holes first, so the way is already cleared, and then you're not fighting with the weight of the motor plus trying to cut in the new threads. You already cut the threads into the plastic. So just got finished doing that. Now I'm going to show you what this son of a bitch looks like finally mounted in. And the only other question someone's asking me too is, how do you cover this? I only noticed this problem too. This should have come with 8 of these, this kit, but I looked through the kit carefully. When you take them out for the first time, and you do this on the bench after you cut the motor out, this is where the plastic rivets go. And it would make sense to put 2 of these here, so you cover the motor. I want to say these are either number 8 or number 6 screws. So I'm going to see if I have any number 8 or number 6 sheet metal screws that I can put in there to cover the motor. So this just further fuels my outrage. So it's not enough I'm forced to buy the $255 motor from General Motors. It doesn't even come with all the stuff it's supposed to. That's bull. This is a number 8 by 32 machine screw. It'll do the job. It'll bite in. It'll at least hold this cover in. It's not a part of the structure like this is here. Now, maybe it should have been 3/4 inch. I don't know. Or 5/8, I'm thinking. Just a tad bit longer than what I had here. But this will suffice. And suffice to say, still an outrage. You know, I wouldn't be so tweaked about this if the blower motor didn't cost $255, and we all know it probably cost GM only let's say maybe $20 tops to have made in some prison in China or some sweatshop in Mexico or Indonesia. Yes, this is what you got to do, because doesn't come with everything you need to do it right. But that's what you expect from a throwaway car maker. So yeah, tighten these up. Like I said, everything here. You want to make them tight, but not too tight. Remember, this all goes into plastic. Although, I was able to use these machine threads here. So, maybe using frickin' plastic isn't so bad after all. But anyway, let me get this tightened up and I'll show you what the motor looks like installed. Alright, so here is the motor installed. Alright, and then what you do, you take the connector, just like so. Let me position my flashlight here. See, this is what the connector looks like. So it kind of works almost like a hasp, I think. You take a screwdriver and you press it in with the screwdriver, but here's how it is when you put it in. Just like so. And you want to make sure the connector is facing you. But here it is, and the way you will take that back out, if need be, is you're going to squeeze it. And here's what I mean. You're going to take it like that. You're going to put your finger like that. Or what you do is you take a screwdriver like one of these here, and you pry it in gently. And you take your other hand and you pull that out. Yep, there you go. I know I couldn't show it because I have no free hands and there's no way to support this camera. But nonetheless, and then enough of it is out that you can push it in with your finger, and it should come out just like so, which it did. There you go. And I'm going to put some more dielectric grease in here. Now I really don't know how well the camera's going to pick that up, but here it is right here, the dielectric grease. I'm going to put that in, and this will make sure no moisture can get in and corrode the terminals. And at least the upside to this outrage is at least this will bolt right back out. So let's say I get another Cobalt and it needs a blower motor. Well, this will be fairly new because I might be retiring this car in the spring. I don't want to go too much off on a tangent here, but I guess that's the only one upside. You'll have a nice quality original equipment manufacturer part, for worse, for better or for worse. But here it is. I'll test it one last time. Key on, engine off. Bingo! That was his name-o. Alright, so that's all there really was to it. I know this wasn't as elaborate as I wanted it to be. I was kind of in a hurry. Not to mention that even if I wanted to be a little more elaborate, it was going to be next to impossible because everything is just crammed under there. If I put a light there, then I'm going to be in my own way. So if it wasn't one thing, it was going to be another. I was only trying to give a rough idea of what you're up against, and I meant to say post '05. It's '06 and they started this wonderful idea, or in the eyes of the beholder. Anyway, but that was the main purpose of that. So, like most of my other videos, I will say, use this as a guide only. Take everything you see with a grain of salt. It might not necessarily what you'll run into your particular Cobalt. And I was also doing this because, like I said, I think I might have found the definitive proof that the human being can, in fact, stick its head up its ass. And yeah, this is what you gotta do. It's planned obsolescence. This is your typical post-97 GM. Not what I want to call a job for the shade tree mechanics, and I hate saying that only because there are plenty of good folks out there who are great mechanics that never formally went into the field. So, just don't take that the wrong way. I also, in the very end, when I used those machine screws to put in the cover, yeah, they still worked, but I was wrong in saying to go longer than ½ inch. Now, it turns out ½ inch is just fine. I ended up putting a couple of number 8 washers, or, one each, and that helped it bolt it right down. Now, because it's plastic and it's mold to anything, yeah, machine threads work because it's only holding that cover. It's not holding the blower motor up like the other sheet metal screws. But you do preferably still want to use those number 8 by 32 by half sheet metal screws. And just to make mention of other things I might have said in the video, so I'll get a million freaking comments about it. Do I really know what a pig sounds like when it gets sodomized? No, I don't. Do I care to know what a pig sodomized sounds like? No, I don't. And I know I have said quite a few bleeding heart butthurt liberals out there by saying that it might have come from some prison in China. But hey, they are prisons. That's just part and parcel to that communism you're so fond of, that your silver ponytailed college professor indoctrinated you into thinking was such a marvelous idea. Well, like I said, hope this was somewhat helpful. Any input is greatly appreciated. Have a wonderful day, and don't be a stranger.